Now let's turn to the artist who brought that project to life. Benjamin Fon Wong is an engineer turned photographer, famous for his hyper-realistic style. Hi, Benjamin. So my first question is, in your Twitter description, it is stated that you create photos which people think are photoshopped. But what does it mean really? How do you draw the line between Photoshop and setup?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tagline meant to just convince people that at first glance, when they look at it, what they're looking at is actually real. Like there is a real build with a real model in a real place. Because I think very often when people look at my stuff, they assume that it's completely made by computer. It's a little bit of an exaggeration because all the photographs will be have their colors tweaked, shapes tweaked, and everything. Sometimes little details will be cleaned up, but for the most part, everything that they're looking at is real. And it's just kind of a simple way that I found to describe the work that I do and explain right away for someone who's discovering my work for the first time that actually there is a story behind how this whole photo came together.
And you like sharing these stories too. And I assume you have a huge team, but who are in your team?
So I'm basically a one-man team. I have no employees. I have no studio, like this is just my bedroom. And I basically build a team of volunteers and freelancers and staff, if you will. Anytime I travel to a different place, basically every single project that I do is a collaboration of a whole bunch of people coming together because they all believe in the same thing or all want to create something brand new that's never been done before.
And I think your latest installation, The Parting of the Plastic Sea, is one such project, because you used 168,000 plastic straws. Is that a record? Tell us about the project.
So the whole project began when Julia from Zero Waste Saigon just sent me a message on Facebook. She said, hey, I saw your last project. I loved it. I'd love for you to come and do something in Vietnam. And my answer to her was, well, I can't just fly myself to Vietnam and wait for something to happen. We need to think of a concept first. We need to find the materials. We need to find the sponsorship in order to bring something to life. And so we went back and forth, and I thought it would be really fun if she could collect a large volume of straws, because straws is sort of at the forefront of the battle against single-use plastics. And she basically said, no problem, I can help you collect over 100,000 straws. I'll just organize a bunch of cleanup groups across the country. And she did, and over time managed to bring in Starbucks Vietnam as a sponsor who also contributed to the cleanup. And then after 6 months of collecting, I showed up and helped to transform all of the straws that they had collected into an art installation. And we're actually applying for a Guinness World Record. We're waiting for the results. And that's why we had to go through the time to actually count and weigh all of our straws. And we'll see, but if all goes according to plan, this will be the world's largest drinking straw installation.
Wow. But what will happen to the straws after the exhibition is over? Are you going to recycle it?
That's a great question, actually. If everything goes according to plan, our installation will continue to move. We're hoping that the installation will be adopted by someone else and we can find like a permanent home for it, because right now it's just hanging out in a mall for a couple months. So with the visibility of the project, we're really hoping that a company, an institution, or a museum kind of steps in and says like, oh my gosh, we love what you're doing, we believe in the message, and we're hoping to house it so that we can continue spreading the word. Because if we look at the interactions that people are having at the mall, they absolutely love it. People are spending minutes, they're taking photos, they're videos, they're reading the educational banners, and I feel like it's really resonating with people.
I know you're trying to aim to create dialogue with your work. And what is the response to the installation so far?
I mean, I think as an artist, we're always dreaming to make our projects better and bigger and more awesome. So I look at this as, man, it would be even better if it got more press, more attention, if more people came, if this could become something even greater. It's really hard to say that you feel satisfied about something as an artist. You're always looking and thinking about the next bigger thing. How can this be bigger? How can it be better?
And Benjamin, you define yourself as an activist as well. But what is the role of an artist in this age? I mean, is there a role at all?
I mean, I don't like to tell anyone else what to do with their lives. I think everyone can do whatever it is that they want to do, whatever it is that drives them. But for me, what drives me is I want to lead an existence that has sort of a positive outcome on the world. And in many ways, ever since I've learned that art has the possibility to touch people's hearts and minds and effectively shift dialogue, I felt the responsibility and the duty to use my skill set to make the world a better place in some way, shape, or form. And so I think art has this tremendous potential to change narratives, to shift the world, and to push it in different directions. And it's just kind of sad to see some of the world's best talent be used for nothing more than attention or advertisement or something like that, when it could be used for so much more. I mean, stories have shaped human culture, and dreams and aspirations have the power to move entire cultures forward. And I just hope that other artists can see that potential and use it to the best of their ability to.
Great. Thank you so much, Benjamin.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me. I love Turkey.